Okay, all right. So today I'm gonna be doing a different kind of video. Um, I will be showing you how I kind of get this mess to look decent without having to constantly be cutting my beard. That's something that I've only discovered probably within the last year or maybe like year and a half or something. Because I realized I would cut my beard and it would look really nice one day, and then the next day there's a couple strays, and then I cut that and I keep cutting until there's not a lot left. So I figured out a way to work on this mess without having to cut it. Now, it may look like it's thinning, but the problem is I have two textures of hair. So I have like a what's called a 4C under here or whatever it's called. And then of course these ones tend to stay straighter than these. So typically I look like I'm, if I should have it out like this, I look like I really don't take that good of care of my beard. So anyway, the first thing I tend to do, I discovered this at Walmart probably 2 years ago. I always try to use a water-based moisturizer in my beard before I put any oils. Now, for people with straighter hair, I would say, I don't know, people with naturally straight hair, they might not necessarily need to use this. They could just get out of the shower and use any kind of beard oil or, whatever it is they put on there, and their hair will tend to, it will seal in the moisture. But for people with curly hair, especially with like different textures, a lot of us have an issue retaining moisture, and the oils don't tend to penetrate very well, so that may be a problem. So I use this instead of water, so that even if the oil doesn't get to every strand, the hair itself is well moisturized. So let me just get straight to it. I basically just, I don't know, it's cheap enough, so I put quite a bit of it in there, even if it's wasted. For me, I use cheap products because I can use a lot of it, as opposed to using an expensive beard oil. And as I continue with the video, you'll see exactly why I can't use beard oil, because I have too much beard and I have to moisturize sometimes twice a day. So I have come up with my own thing. I usually try to get in the middle of it and like moisturize a little bit. I usually don't have a tank top on and I'm doing this, but I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I'm not trying to do too much of anything. But as it gets moisturized, the length, you'll start to see how everything kind of just comes together. Now, I periodically get problems with itching, and when I have that issue, I use tea tree oil. Now, I've been using one I found at Walmart. It's in a tiny little bottle for like $6 or something. That seems to work quite well. I used to use castor oil, but for some reason, because castor oil is a thicker oil, it doesn't seem to help with itching. In fact, sometimes it tends to hold the dead cells together, and it probably makes the problem worse. But yeah, so I make sure that the beard is properly moisturized. I get all of that. I've already detangled, I think it's 2 days ago. So all of this is not tangled, it's just curly hair. Let's see. And I put my tea tree oil in a little spray bottle. Or it's more like a squirt bottle. And I kind of started at the right side of my face. And it will, because it's a very thin oil, it will get where it needs to go. But this is just for the health of my skin and the roots of the hair. Someone told me it does stimulate hair growth. I'm not sure about tea tree oil. I do know that peppermint oil was something I've seen recommended a lot by people with really long beards. They say it stimulates growth. I don't know if it does. I just really like the tingling feeling I would get when I put it in my beard. Now, for washing, If you have hair like mine that doesn't seem to suck up a lot of moisture, I would advise you to keep it in a protective style where you don't have to keep like manipulating it, and don't wash it a lot. Now, if you work in construction or something, I don't honestly don't know what to tell you, because it will get dirty, and the dirtier it gets is the more difficult it is to stay healthy, and you may have some itching problems when all that dirt starts like sitting in the oil and on your skin and all that crap. So anyway, this is basically what my beard looks like after I've moisturized it. Let's see if I can go the length. I've lost quite a bit of length because I kept manipulating it. So let me clean my hand off real quick. Okay, and here comes the fun part. Now, one of the questions I get a lot is, how do I comb my beard? And the answer to that is I do not comb my beard. This is what I do. So I get a brush with two surfaces. I prefer the softer surface for under here, because sometimes if it's too rough, it will get the hairs and it'll pull them out. Because my weaker hairs are under here, like I call it the undercarriage, but I just brush it out. And then the fun part, I get a medium heat. So, oh, is that a hairball? See, it's not even a hairball, it's a bunch of curls. Yeah, it can be a challenge sometime with curly hair, especially too textured hair, because, as I said, the curls and the textures just, you know. But that's what I was born with, and I was fortunate to have had genetics that support growing a long beard, so let's just be grateful. Okay, so what I really wanted to show you guys is how I'm able to do job interviews and stuff and not look like I'm like a Duck Dynasty person or something. So let me just... It's healthy, antioxidants. That's why I have all this. Okay, all right. So I sometimes go back in and I do a final brush in case any hairballs got away. And I've been shedding. By the way, I've been shedding a lot. I can never know when in the year I'm gonna have a lot of shedding, but it's very annoying because like every once in a while I'll find a hair strand that goes down to my belly button, and then I'm like, ooh, well, maybe the other ones will follow suit, and then I start shedding. So, but it's a natural part of the hair cycle. I've heard there are things you can do to delay it or slow it down, but essentially that's what our hairs do. And some people shed, genetics affected, some people shed less. Some people shed more. Some people have more hair follicle turnover. Some people have less. So I find, depending on the length of beard I'm trying to work with, I try to find, so let's say, okay, I'm going on a job interview, and especially now when I gotta wear a mask, I need a shorter beard. So let's say I get it around here. Okay. I slightly pull it through halfway, and then I have this. Okay. But I'm thinking of making it shorter, so I might want to go up a little further. So let's go again. Let's say about here. Pull it halfway in. Now I got a bun. Then this is the interesting part. You fold it up. Oh, use a bobby pin. Oh, it's already stuck in here. Find a good place and put it in. I don't know if I like this length though. I feel like I want to make it shorter. What do y'all think? I'm not done yet. So, see, one of the problems is the longer it is the harder. So the longer I keep it, like lengthwise in this style, is the harder it is to keep. So if I make it like really short, it tends to hold longer, and I can have it a week without having to do the whole process again. Now at the end of the process, what you need to do is to medium heat again, but lower setting, and then that kind of holds it in place. Now, sorry I haven't had all my things like together. Now, one of the myths about beards that I did not know, and I've been saying for years without knowing the facts, heat does not necessarily destroy your beard. What you don't want to do is have a ton of oil in there and then run a high heat, because then you'll fry the hair, and you keep frying it and it's going to break. For me, what helped me to get this length was adding heat to my routine quite often. I just use a low heat, and I always have a water-based and an oil. And what ends up happening is the low heat melts the oil, and because my hair is already supple from the water-based moisturizer, my hair, it's a lot easier for my hair to absorb the oil. Now this is what I use. Organic coconut oil. I don't think it makes a difference whether or not it's organic, but I use this because this was like, I think it was like less than $10, and this is gonna last me at least 5 months, and I use a lot. I also use it on my skin and my hair, which I have male pattern baldness, and I started using Rogaine, but I also realized that my hair quality was a lot better when I used this in there. Plus, it works great on my skin. So I just get a good amount, probably like, I don't know, like 2 tablespoons. That's quite a bit. And I just put it on there. Now, if it's too much or if it's cold out, you might have to go back over it with the dryer, with the hair dryer, just to melt it out a little bit. That's about it. Kind of bunch it in. You can also put other, like you can put more bobby pins in there if you want to kind of keep the style, because especially if you're someone like me that sleeps on their face, it might end up you might end up like undoing it. By the way, my face is pretty shiny because I did a what's it called? Oh my god, lactic acid peel tonight, and it tends to make my face shiny for the first like 72 hours or something before my skin tightens and looks a little bit younger, but or so I think. So yeah, that's basically it. The rest I just put on my skin because, of course, it's pretty healthy. And that's basically how I go from beard that's down here and looking a little homeless to this right here. I am currently working on my Instagram page. I don't have a lot of content on there. I'm trying to make it more about photography and my art, but I just don't have much time. You know, working 2 jobs and all that stuff. Sometimes I just come home and all I want to do is sleep. But yeah, leave your comment if you have questions about beard growth and stuff. There's a lot more I could say, but sometimes I really don't remember. You know, I always tell people genetic plays a big part in how much beard you can grow and your length retention. Well, not length retention, but turnover rate and stuff. Length retention a lot of times has to do with how you treat the actual beard, minimize manipulation, the products you use in it, and the way you protect it. This is my protective style. It's also my everyday style. I do not wear my beard long like that because the wind damages it, it gets into stuff, it gets into zippers and all that stuff. So at certain time you have to, once your beard gets to a certain length, you're probably better off putting in the protective style. But anyway, like and leave your comments, and I'll see you guys later.